Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZSR and welcome to the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 5 tournament. It's Winners Bracket Round 1 and it's Spytron versus RyuuKane. And actually, we are kinda late because we are about to start, so without further ado, let me switch to the layout, not talk much, just hand it to our two commentators, to KitKat and to Simp, Symphonic Link, and also thank you so much to Blank for tracking. It's all yours, guys.
Oh yeah, nice. Thank you, Shredders.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hello, ZSR.
Yeah, got another Wind Waker randomizer race. Yeah, Spytron versus RyuuKane. Spytron, I think definitely someone who's been in the community for quite a while.
Like a good year and a half now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and definitely someone who's known for having a interesting character model, shall I say? And RyuuKane, I don't actually know much about RyuuKane. I believe that they've been in the community for like a decent amount as well. Like both players, who've been here definitely for like quite a while. And yeah, we can immediately see the amazing model on Spytron's end. Just like yep.
Oh yeah.
No words.
You gotta love his own personal model. Just so simple yet so cursed.
Right. So we're reading the hints because season 5 we have hints now. We have path hints, we have foolish hints, and we have these item hints or these location hints. Sorry, that he's just going through right now. Definitely an interesting set of hints, as well as Shard on Bomb Island as well. So that's going to be that's going to be pretty required. So
we
nice.
Definitely have some nice ones on here, specifically like Angular Cave being dead, as well as like Fire Mountain and Golf, which those are 3 checks that tend to be really out of the way.
Right, yeah.
Especially with the fact that one of our paths, was our path to Godin, is angular, so the runners just know off the top that that's just Angular Peak, which is really nice.
Right, yeah. So we can see kind of the starting routes kind of starting to diverge here. Spytron going immediately to Windfall, and Ryu kind of going to Cliff Plateau and to Bird's Peak Rock. Kind of, I guess, like the more on-meta play, just in case you find like a Picto box there or something very useful.
I actually really like this, because our runners, if you didn't notice, they started with Grappling Hook. And normally what a lot of people do at the start is they would go to Cliff Plateau, get storage there, and then take that to here, Bird's Peak Rock. But since they started with Grappling Hook, Ryu can just do the non-storage strat, which is just Grapple Hook and then go right through.
Right, yeah. I also love how Spytron's using the door cancel to read the hints. That's some big brain stuff right there.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a while now, since basically the start of the hints showing up. It's a good and a bad one, because season 5 has kind of been the season where you put off Windfall just to find at least something more to increase the amount of checks you can check. But it still saves time checking them now over just stopping at the beginning and checking then. So it's really up to the runner if they want to take that time loss to read them right off the bat, or do it like this.
Yeah, but you see, I think Ryu definitely rushing the hints, going to Angular, trying to get that Toji path hint.
I'm a little curious of what this is gonna be. I get the feeling that it's gonna be just a Pearl, but I also wonder if Ryu may store this to get. Oh no, they can't get Headstone. Never mind.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I think you need like bait bags, and there's a way to get it without bait bag. I believe that involves bombs.
You need either leaf or bombs to get up there.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how it's done. I just see people do it. So yeah. Come on, Melody.
Okay, well, we do have Wind Temple, so that is required, no matter how many tricks anyone knows.
Definitely, yeah. And it's logically required for like 3 dungeons, Todji, Earth Temple, and Wind Temple, but there's only really one where you actually really like need it. In Earth Temple, we kind of sort of need it, but you can definitely do Earth Temple without Command Melody if you get like the right items for it.
Exactly, yeah. Wind Temple is really the only one that is just solely it is required for.
Yeah, I don't even think you can do the first check without it. Nice, Rainbow Rupee.
We have a meme on the kids. We have Trevor, the Rainbow Rupee. Oh!
Bombs on Angular. That's the Todji path hint.
That is absolutely the Todji path hint. Okay, that's kind of big. Not gonna lie. So, in answer to Henrich in the chat, so the Great Sea being a path hint is just like the 4 checks that are on that can be in the Great Sea itself.
Yeah, Great Sea's not the entire overworld.
Yeah.
Which would be quite funny. Like, the only information you gain from that is, right, so it's not in a dungeon, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's just anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And we see Spytron going for a storage strat here, where he opens the door. Oh, and he's doing a double storage strat? I actually don't know what he's doing here.
I mean, I've most commonly seen people do this with, like, like, with door storage, where they, like, they go in, where they normally want to, like, combine it with, I guess, like, House of Wealth, and then they'd enter the, like, the cafe, and then they'd suddenly be in, like, the House of Wealth, and it's just, like, I've seen that.
Oh, okay, I kind of get it. So, what Spytron's doing is... Oh, that was really close. So, the main reason he did that second storage after opening the door was to store the cutscene of the windmill starting to flow, or starting to turn. So now he has time to also go get taught while he's waiting for Mila.
Yeah, yeah, no, cool strat. I guess one thing that we've kind of seen throughout this run, we haven't really touched on, is for those unaware, this season does use CTMC chest types matches content. Basically, if it's a spiky chest, then we'll be able to deduce that it is some sort of progression. It might just be like another bottle, so we don't know if it's entirely useful, but it's definitely no hard piece. And if it's a wooden chest, then it's absolutely just like some random thing that we do not need at all, and so we can just kind of skip it. Which is why you'll see runners run past wooden chests. So this one, for example, is a spiky chest, so Ryu is going to go ahead and pick it up. And it's a delivery bag.
Ooh,
may or may not be required.
See, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about for waiting to go to Windfall, is now Ryu will have, at the very least, one extra thing to do at Windfall before leaving. Ooh, and there we have a required Mila on Spytron's side, getting that Nehru's Pearl. Sadly, doesn't actually give any progression at the moment, but it does give the first path to one of his dungeons.
Yeah, and Spytron also doing the thing that we talked about earlier, which was like door storage to House of Wealth, so we wouldn't have to go all the way back again.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the milk bar, huh?
But yeah, no, I guess back to Mila. Mila's kind of a check that I guess some people would want to wait until getting fire and ice arrows. So interesting to see if Ryu does it off the bat, or if he waits for fire and ice arrows. Fire and ice arrows is a required item, so you'll end up getting it eventually. So you'll have the decision eventually. But yeah,
That is true. Oh, and there we have Din's Pearl on Beetle. So we have the two non-check pearls already found on one runner each. Now we're just on the search for that last pearl that also gives mail.
Right. Yeah. It's just like that one pearl. Yeah. Alright, power bracelets on Tingle.
Power bracelets and boomerang.
I don't think either of those are required.
Yeah, boomerang is not required. Power bracelets are not really required either, since we don't have Earth Temple. Bombs can substitute for that. Also, the bow on Salvage Core. That is a very early bow.
We literally just need like Faror's Pearl, and then we can then we can essentially do top G already.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if the runners are gonna want to do that, mainly because of the fact that they don't have Leaf.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Or okay, I stand corrected.
Summoning that into existence right there.
Yeah, I just say it happens. Cool.
Okay, Maggie's letter. So a few things in paw print right now. Also, nice peeking of the transparent chest as well. I find that's always like quite convenient to do at night time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're on the way, you can see if it's useful, so you might as well get it to track it. And then we have a wallet on Ryu's side. So paw print, I believe was... No, it was not one of our Pathins. I'm thinking of an earlier seed. Yeah, now we got Ryu leaving, probably going to Northern Triangle to take out Cyclos, while Spytron coming into paw print. Not really going to be able to do anything extra or anything less, but it's still a good play. You got 4 checks in there, and especially having that power bracelets and having that grappling hook at the beginning means every single one of the 4 checks is open.
Yeah, but so basically now, I think after Ryu's done with Cyclos, I think that both the runners are just going to be kind of doing things that they've already done. Spytron, I'd imagine going to DRY or at least at very least paw print, and then seeing what he's doing there. Ryu likely be doing Windfall after this, unless he's super aggressive and just kind of wants to pretend Windfall doesn't exist for like the first half of the run.
And we have been baited by Cyclos.
Baited with a bait.
Baited with the bait. Straight up jabasted.
Okay, he is going to Windfall. So yeah, right now runners just doing the things that we've already seen, so no real progression right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I guess kind of... I guess Ryu with kind of like the more on-meta sort of route so far, because again, as you said, it's definitely kind of like more... I think it's like more common to delay Windfall, I think. Maybe not to the extent that Ryu has, because he's just getting here with at like a 13-minute mark. I feel like most runners would get here earlier. But it's definitely, I guess, more common to get there at the 13-minute mark than like the 1-minute mark.
I mean, I will say, I have seen very late Windfalls in Season 5. And plus, we have a bunch of extra checks from Mail. Quite a few Tinkle statues, actually, so far. But also, Ryu did pick up that Maggie's letter from, I believe it was Paw Print. And that's going to give him another check to get with his delivery bag.
Ryu also doing Mila, so he's going to be able to nicely get the Nehru's Pearl.
I'm I'm wondering how much time he's gonna have with him going and getting taught during this. Like, is he gonna have enough time to both get the storage for House of Wealth door and to turn on the windmill? Because this is gonna be really tight if that's what he's planning. But as long as he doesn't get caught by Mila, it should be okay. All right, well, dang, that was a really quick storage. I will give that to him.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think like both these runners, both in fairly quicker storage so far. You know, makes a lot of sense given that these are both top 24 runners. So you know,
exactly, yeah,
they are going to be pretty good at a bunch of things.
You know what I just realized is our runners have the entirety of Forbidden Woods open to them right now.
Yes, they do. Yeah, Spytron could do Forbidden. Yeah, like he has the leaf. He has the leaf and boomerang. So it's like
exactly, yeah.
That's basic and grappling hook. So it's in logic as well. So very very early first dungeon right there. Although it depends when the runners are going to go for it.
And obviously biased here, but it seems like Forbidden Woods always tends to just be extremely loaded, quite a bit. Don't know why it ends up in the logic like that, but it just somehow works.
But yeah, as we've said, Runa's kind of doing the same thing that their opponent has done, so no real progression. Ryu does have a shield from somewhere. I kind of missed where that was from. Like mail, I think?
Yeah, I believe that was one of the mails. I believe that was his bomb mail that he got that shield.
Ah, yeah.
And also, Ryu is going to be able to check the mailman chest. Or not the mailman chest, but the mailman check as well.
Spytron with the peak as well.
Yeah, that is a very good peak. And having Leaf is going to allow Spytron to do the much easier and much faster trick of just walking up this pillar. Rather than having to go all around the island, either with the Leaf vanilla style or with storage to go around, he is going to be able to pick up his delivery bag. So I will say this is a very interesting seed for our hints-wise. Having Outset and Cliff Plateau be dead really alters quite a bit of routing.
Right, yeah.
Along with having Golf be dead, it kind of really takes away a lot of the bottom left corner of the map. So they can kind of... I get the feeling our runners are really going to put off those checks. Especially... our runners are probably going to wait for Hookshot to even attempt Diamond Step. Because there's really no point to going there, except for Great Fish and Islet being on the left side.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you'll get like I don't know, it's like someone to like actually no, maybe start sentence again because that made no sense. I mean, sometimes you'll get like something that's hinted on Diamond Step when it makes a little bit more sense, right? But that's not the case with this seed. This seed is very much barren. I did hear somewhere offhand, I think Diamond Step has an unusually high chance of having stuff in general, but I think that might be like outdated knowledge because I heard that like a few years ago.
It definitely... I feel like that was a confirmation bias for Season 3, because that was basically the start. That is what you do. You would start on Outset and then immediately go sail up to Diamond Step. Just because that's the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, because I think back then you guys didn't have randomized starting islands. I think that was only Season 4 onwards.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. Season 3 to Season 4. Season 4 added quite a few things, specifically due to the addition of it being a new version. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, the Forsaken Fortress warp was not in Season 3. So you either had to super swim there, or you had to sail there from probably Tingle Island. So a very, very slow trek. We're very glad that that warp has been added.
I guess maybe you could do like mother and child storage and then get on the outside and then do it from there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the top runners did. And it looks like we got Spytron going for Angular to get his bombs, well as Ryu, I think, is going into Forbidden Woods.
Yeah, looks like Forbidden Woods play. Yeah, definitely.
Getting that leaf and immediately going Dungeon Rush. I kind of like this.
I think that's... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just reiterating that I really like the aspect of Dungeon Rushing in Season 5.
Right, yeah. I mean, I know in like other games, I think I've heard in Ocarina of Time, it's like Dungeon Rushing is a very popular strategy. And I think from where I'm from, Skyward Sword Randomizer, it's fairly common as well to rush your dungeons. I believe in Wind Waker, from what I've gathered, it's a little bit more... It's a little bit more like uncommon to rush dungeons, but I mean, as you said, in Season 5, it's been a lot more. It's been a lot more, I guess, on meta in this game.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we are gonna see. I believe we're about to see Spytron store this chest to do what I was saying Ryu could do earlier.
Oh wow, nice.
Which is Spytron is. Spytron is going to store this chest and bring this all the way to Headstone to just walk up the island. So if anyone hasn't seen the extent of storage yet, you're going to enjoy this. Ooh, okay. And he is going to get this, so if anyone is sensitive to lights, I would look away from Spytron's screen for a second, because he is going to do a super swim.
Yeah. And of course we'll say when it's safe to look back, of course.
Exactly, yeah. Just watch Ryu go through Forbidden Woods. Such a nice dungeon. All that green, all that greenery.
I think as far as the dungeon, it's like I think the full clear versus go mode for Forbidden Woods, as far as I'm aware, it's like more of like a kind of a mid-tier dungeon, I guess. 'Cause it's not like Earth Temple where you'd obviously want to go mode it, but it's no Tot G where go moding it means absolutely nothing.
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of like
you can look back at Spytron's screen now, by the way. He has reached the island, and now he's just casually walking up. Just a nice little hike.
That's the out of bounds hike right there.
Exactly. And we're gonna see nothing on Headstone. That is, I believe that is in fact a vanilla heart piece. So that's fun.
But indeed. But yeah, again, talking about, like, I guess kind of like Forbidden Woods and like dungeons again. Well, I think this is why. I mean, I guess on the surface it kind of makes sense to rush your dungeons in general across randomized games, because dungeons are like one of the few kind of like required areas that you'll have to go through no matter what. But however, I think in some dungeons you can definitely skip a lot of it if you're there at the end where you don't have to check any of the chests.
That is very true, and for for Wind Waker, I don't know about other games. I feel like Ocarina of Time is similar. Is that a lot of the dungeons, if you already have like everything you need for it and you don't need to check anything, they're just extremely fast. Like, for example, Forbidden Woods is like the perfect example of this, where you can grab storage in the first room or in the second room and then just bring that all the way to the hub room and then enter the boss without ever opening another chest.
Right, yeah. But definitely, as like a lot of people saying in chat, Forbidden Woods, I mean, it's definitely a quick dungeon, so you're not going to save a lot of time. However, in terms of the amount of dungeon that you skip beyond to, I think, like, this side, like, the side that's locked by the key. And you also get to skip most of the basement as well. I think, no, all of the basement if you go mode it. I think the basement, I think, is probably the biggest time loss in this dungeon. Although, again, this dungeon is fairly quick anyway, so you don't end up losing a whole lot of time anyway. Because there's like, what, 3-4 checks in the dungeon? Not that many.
Yeah, no, basement only has, I believe, 3 checks. And then this left side, or this side behind the small key, has only 3 as well. So it's very quick to run through.
I'm learning about all these peaks I just didn't know beforehand. Like Ryu with that peak up here.
Yeah, that has become kind of a fairly popular peak. Being able to check that early and then just walking into the door if you don't need it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense considering you are right next to the door. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is spiky, so.
And
drumroll.
As we did say earlier, it isn't logic because of their grappling hook.
Yeah, skull hammer. So
that is mostly hard required. There is ways to get into Wind Temple without it, but it's just much easier to use those iron boots and hammer to get in the vanilla path. And
again with CTMC, Ryu peeking the mini boss check, finding it's absolutely nothing, and then just save whooping out.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see Spytron go through one spot that Ryu hasn't gone to yet, although Ryu is probably about to do this. Oh no, Ryu's gonna do basement first. So our runner's just giving us the entire view of the dungeon.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, Ryu entering the basement in a more kind of vanilla way with cutting down the big flower here. There are, like, of course, other ways. I think there's bomb push clipping, and there's also door storage as well.
That is correct, yeah.
There are many different ways you can get into the basement. I found there are many different ways to do most things in this game.
That's true. There are many ways to just ignore walls. Ooh, and Ryu's bomb being a little bit rude to him, knocking him in the water.
Yeah, I've also found that the knockback in this game can be a bit obnoxious like that.
That is very true, especially in comparison to a lot of other Zelda games.
Yeah, so this is a spike check, so Ryu going for it. I don't know why you wouldn't go for a spike check unless you are in go mode, but Ryu is not in go mode, so he's going for it.
They're just all bottles, that's all.
Yeah.
It's like 18 bottles in the game. Ooh, and Spy is going for a different way of getting up. Ooh, we have a shard on the locked tree check.
Yeah.
So that is yeah, that is something. So basement is required.
Yeah, so I would say these runners definitely lucky that they got bombs beforehand, but I mean you can get that without bombs, or with like boomerang and I guess other things as well, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a way to get it with boomerang. Bombs are probably the second easiest way to get that chest. Fire arrows being the easiest one. Just shoot it with a fire arrow and burn it up, whether it's open or dead, or open or closed.
Yeah, but I guess in terms of the dungeon, I'd say Ryu is probably more I guess. I guess I'd say he's like more like through the dungeon, but
oh yeah, no,
he does have to do an entire like side. I guess an entire side, but the side only has like 3 checks. He did enter first, so
and we only saw that, and we already saw that only one of the checks in the morph pit side is an actual item, which was stored, so we don't know what that was. Although I believe it was a shard.
Looks to be. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see from Ryu's side, as I get the feeling that he's probably not going to store that.
Yeah, Spytron killing Mothula, the mini boss. I would say that.
Yeah, Mothula, you're right.
Mothula, yeah. Enhancing stuff is hard, but no. Yeah, no. Killing mini boss and definitely kind of regretting that he didn't peek it earlier.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing. And yes, so it was a shard. So that's 2 shards in Forbidden Woods. But yeah, the chest type matches contents really takes a lot of time out from just this game in general. Not having to open so many treasure chests cuts down the time immensely.
But yeah, Ryu looking like he's about done with the dungeon, just doing the next check in here, and then on to the boss of the dungeon. Yeah. Spytron, I believe, still got a few more checks left to do in this dungeon. Then
Spytron still has to do the basement, yeah.
Yeah, then he'll be on kind of the same path here. I think that Spytron has definitely done more overworld checks, so it might seem like Ryu's ahead. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just false time save.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're very even. Also, yeah, this had to be the big key due to Ryu checking the rest of the dungeon. So no bomb drop storage, no nothing needed for Ryu. Although I get the feeling since Spytron did not open the chest with the small key in it, he's probably going to store that chest anyway. And yeah, now we have the easiest boss in the game.
Well, I should practice sword, so...
That's true, it is...
Maybe not... Oh no, he still got it anyway.
Yeah, there's barely enough time for you to be able to kill it with Hero Sword. Obviously, Master Sword cuts down that time a ton. Even if they didn't have Boomerang, they did have bombs, so that is also another way to do it.
Yeah, alternatively, you can use the bow as well.
Yes.
It's annoying, but you can do it. I've also heard offhand you can use the grappling hook as well.
I believe you can hit the vines with it, but I don't think you have enough time between grapple throws to actually cut them all down before they respawn.
I guess you can kind of use it as like a finishing touch using the bow, but I don't know. I've never really seen anyone do it.
The bow strats, especially if you have fire arrows, like regular bow strats, they work. I can tell you that from personal experience. They do work. But fire arrow strats, if you've never seen them before, are just an absolute treat to see.
I think the main, like, annoying aspect of using the bow out of all the items you can use is that there are no bow drops in Forbidden Woods, to my knowledge anyway.
That is very true, yeah.
Yeah, definitely in the boss room, so if you run out, you're kind of stuffed.
Ooh! So we have a more or less French vanilla Pharaoh's Pearl on Tree Branch. So that is Tower of the Gods open for Ryu.
Yeah, and he does have Leaf, so I guess at this point there's no reason not to do it. Although, again, if he's going aggressive, he might want to wait and I guess try and do that dungeon go mode. Although, out of all the dungeons to try and do go mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Taji is like definitely further down the list because it's so long and so linear and just kind of full of cutscenes.
Taji is at the bottom of the list. Taji is essentially just like the go mode is essentially just go through it normally, skipping maybe a couple checks. It's still extremely slow. It's just not the best.
Yeah, Ryu with the kind of execution error there. Not quite getting to like the small island chest.
Yeah, just barely missed the island there, and yet Spytron also just wiggling through the door. No key needed. Just walking right through the corner. And we're seeing both male for Ryu are dead, so not having to deal with that really.
Yeah, Spytron easily getting that one cycle there.
Oh yeah.
Easily. Didn't even see the boss start to close.
And we have a light green Makar today. For anyone who doesn't know, if you have randomized enemy colors on, for that one part of the cutscene, Makar is considered an enemy. So he is a different color, and then he switches to normal colors after this. So it's just a nice little note.
He was the real final boss all along.
Exactly.
Of this dungeon.
It's Makarendorf.
Yeah, Ryu trying again with the small island chest, hopefully actually getting it this time.
I like this height more. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get this one now.
Yeah, it was just the height last time was kind of questionable.
Yeah, it was.
And didn't work.
Close. Ooh.
Fire and ice arrows.
That's pretty big, especially being where he is and knowing that Ice Ring leads to Wind Temple. He's gonna be able to literally just sail from here to Ice Ring. And
so yeah, fairly convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. And then most likely is what I'm assuming is Hookshot's going to be here.
Spytron with some questionable height here.
Yeah, no, that's a really not good height for Spy. He's gonna have to redo that as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, so yeah, I mean, both runners definitely kind of messing up some leaf strats there. So I mean, it is hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. It definitely looks super easy when watching as a viewer, but you have quite a bit of timing you have to do. Obviously, it's not the hardest trick in Wind Waker because we have however many frame perfect tricks that you have to get. Oh, we have
box. Okay, so that could be it, because Command Melody was Lenzo, I think.
That is very true.
So there's that.
That could absolutely be it.
Ryu still has yet to get Command Melody according to his tracker, so... hey, useful?
He hasn't tracked it. He does... What? I thought he did have it. Oh, maybe he doesn't.
I don't know if he did the Lenzo door cancel.
I guess he didn't.
Spytron definitely did, and he has it, but yeah.
I think I'm just having whatever that effect is where you remember something and it's just completely wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did see one person do it today, but yeah, that's so. I guess on Spytron's end, that's kind of like unfortunate because he's already kind of resolved this path, I guess. So
yeah, he's doing it the way that the game semi-intends.
So meanwhile, Ryu in Taji not delaying it, just going straight there. Again,
I think this is
more dungeons.
Yeah, I think this is a very good idea. Tower of the Gods, as we said earlier, already a very slow dungeon. No, like, go mode really not doing too much for it. And especially after he picked up those fire and ice arrows, it just speeds up this dungeon so fast because of these torches.
Spytron about to get his fire and ice arrows.
Yeah, I wonder. I know he's probably going to go to Ice Ring, but I'm wondering what he's going to do after that. If he's gonna also go for Tower of the Gods. I'm just very curious. Oh no, he's going for Bird's Peak now.
Yeah, because he has yet to do that. He did Windfall straight away, and has yet to do this. So
yeah, that's very true. Obviously, he's gonna most likely do the same strat that we saw Ryu do at the beginning of the seed, using grappling hook to get in. And sadly, going to not find anything there for this decently long sail. And yes, we have Tower of the Slog on Ryu's side. At the very least, with chest type matches contents, it is much faster, getting to just skip pretty much every chest you don't need.
To answer a question in chat, a hero's path location is essentially the game's way of telling us that, if something is path to, say, Mulgera, the Wind Temple boss, the game is essentially saying there's an item required to beat Wind Temple in this specific area. So in this case, it was Ice Ring was path to Mulgera, so there was an item there that was required to beat Mulgera. In this case, it was the Picto Box, which led to the command melody, so something like that.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, I gotta say, I'm a little surprised that Spytron save warped out of Bird's Peak instead of just resetting. Because he would have spawned on Forest Haven, which, no matter where he's going, would have been a faster sail.
I guess Bum Island isn't too bad.
That's true, especially having ice arrows. It pretty much makes this cave bearable.
Yeah.
Well, also, we have a spiky chest on floating boxes.
Yeah.
This check tends
Hook
to...
shot?
Ooh, okay.
A required item for Wind Temple, and a virtually required item for endgame, unless you want to do Zombie Hover, I guess.
Do we remember where Iron Boots was? Because I get the feeling that was probably our Great Sea to Wind Temple hint.
Oh, that was early.
Yeah, that was very early.
Oh, Iron Boots. Windfall? Who got it first? Salvage was bow.
Yeah, salvage was the bow, but it was right around there as well.
Oh, someone's just saying Todd. Yeah, I think that's believable.
So with Salvage Corp having the bow, Cyclos being dead, and I suppose it could have been the Din's Pearl on Beetle leading to the hook shot in Tower of the Gods.
Yeah, no, it could be, yeah. Anyway, shard from Spytron, this was hinted.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if something's on Ghost Ship, but I believe actually we're pretty much good for Wind Temple now.
I think so as well, yeah. Still no sword upgrade. Like, interesting. I was talking to Jaznix, another runner of this game, and someone who also runs Skyward Sword. I was talking to him about this game. It's like, dang, you tend to get swords quite quickly in this game compared to other games. Then there's this match, which is like just completely proving that wrong because 45 minutes. There's been no sword upgrades. There are 3 in the item pool, so we have to come across at least one eventually.
If you think this is bad, looking back to Season 4, they started without a sword.
Yeah, I remember that as well, yeah. From when I briefly dabbled in this game a year ago.
And that was a time, I tell ya.
Yeah. I think Season 4 was like my first kind of exposure to Wind Waker, so that was, yeah, nice.
I get the feeling that it was quite a few people's exposure.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of people joined during that season, which it's fantastic getting to open up the community to more people. And Spytron just going through the checks that we've seen Ryu do already.
Yeah, I believe this was wooden chest, so.
Yep.
Yeah, just gonna straight up say warp.
As I said earlier, I'm very interested to see where Spytron goes from here. If he goes for Tower of the Gods, or if he's going to go somewhere else. For example, like bringing his... Nope, he's going Tower of the Gods already.
Yeah, currently I guess both runners kind of been doing the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Some things in slightly different, like the opening was quite different, but they've kind of ended up in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's true. And it's interesting with Spytron, the only thing I believe he has over Ryu at the moment is that command melody.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean in this dungeon, whilst it is it's logically required, but it isn't really. There's only like 2 instances of it in the dungeon, and we can like skip it quite easily, I think.
That's very true, yeah. And yeah, Spy is going to open up... Ooh, that's the big key. I did not realize that was the big key on Ryu's side. I definitely missed that. So we're not going to be seeing Tower of the Gods big key skip today. Unfortunate. Because it is a very very interesting trick to see. Yeah, really not much to say about it at this point. We are still missing, as you said, those 3 swords, a bow, and I believe 1 more shard. And then we have...
Yeah, one more shard, yeah.
And then we have go mode, yeah.
Yeah, so fairly close to go mode, I'd say. Not like late game at this point, but it's at this point, we can count the items till go mode, so it's like to get in there.
Exactly, yeah. And we already know both of our runners are not going to be going into Hyrule to check any checks, because we already know both Master Sword Chamber and Maze Chest are all dead. Also, a very nice command skip from Ryu. That was very clean.
I find that a lot of people use that setup specifically, where they where they kind of like shimmy across the side and then they just like that set, like this specific setup. I feel like is the most popular. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just what it seems.
Yeah, there's from what I know, there's 3 distinct ways that people do it. And yes, in answer to in chat, mini boss was hinted dead.
I'm kind of struggling with this bomb clip right here, trying to do this instead of the statue.
Yeah, it's really just a preference from how I've seen it. Obviously, when you have stuff like this happen, it just becomes a lot quicker to use the statue.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
so
yeah.
I can't really give him any bad juju for that. And now at this point we have about, I believe, 4 more checks in Tower of the Gods for Ryu. And I really don't know, other than obviously a sword or a shard, what else we could see in here. I guess a bottle. A bottle would be nice. Also, quick shout out to that Beamos actually being a bro and killing one of the rats. That was very nice.
Nice.
Just when the RNG lines up like that, it's very nice.
To answer Eliza's question in chat, have both runners done Bomb Island already? I think so. I know Spytron did Bomb Island.
Ryu has not done Bomb Island yet.
Okay. So
Spytron has that over him as well.
Yeah. So again, it kind of looks like Ryu's ahead because he's further dungeon, but a lot of this is like fake time loss that he's gonna. Like he has more. Like Spytron's done more overworld stuff, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's definitely kind of. I'd say they're very close at this point in general. Yeah, but no, both runners did Ice Ring, definitely. Ryu did it first, then followed by Spytron.
Exactly, yeah. Yes, Spytron does have the Pictowalks.
Yeah, it's just a missed track from one of our trackers.
Did Spytron pick up the... No! Oh, no! Spytron skipped floating boxes.
That might be a problem.
That's definitely a problem. Ooh.
He might come back and get it.
He might. It's really not going to affect him in this dungeon, but it's a question of if he's going to get it after he finishes. Yeah. Oh, and we have a nice pair of statue twins just walking up to their pedestals.
Yeah, but yeah, number 1 rule in Rando, if you orphan a check, that's where your item will be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it goes. Don't ask me the specifics. That's just a rule that just happened. It always happens.
Yeah, this we haven't seen anything else in Tower of the Gods, and it looks like we're not going to see anything else.
Shout out to the only required check in the game, I think.
No, Stone Tablet and the big key chest are both hard-required to open to progress.
Oh yeah, no, okay. But I think other than those two, I think it's like those are the only required checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, very nice that they're able to skip the mini-boss for multiple reasons. One, it's slow to drop the statue on the button to open the door. And then 2, it's going into the room. quick side note: we are having a boomer strat on Spytron's side. Let's see if he gets this first try. Very clean. Anyway, as I was saying, not only is it slow to open the door, it also respawns the bubbles, so it makes it just that much more annoying to go through this room. And so far, it looks like Ryu is having a very clean Godin fight. Not having any hands respawn.
Yeah, I definitely know that Godin is one of the fights that's like pretty difficult to do quickly, because I know the hands can be quite annoying.
Oh, absolutely. Godin is like the RNG boss in this game, especially if you're doing storage. Hint hint, cough cough, Helmrock King being the most RNG outside of storage.
I mean, I feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Godin, definitely probably one of the worst bosses in this game, just for that reason.
I think, yeah, competitively, I'd say so, yeah. I guess unlike Helmrock, I feel like even if you do storage, it's still, like... I mean, it's not RNG, it's nowhere near as RNG-based, but you can still soft lock, which I think is RNG-based.
That is true. That is very true.
It's only like 1 in 10, so it's less, but, I mean, it's still a 3-minute time loss to something that's out of your control if you're unlucky enough.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Helmrock definitely has RNG. Sadly, we're not going to see Helmrock today. Or at least not in this race. I believe we do have another race going on pretty much immediately after this with Crystal Bellis and Randomite, so that's going to be fun. And Spytron getting knocked over by those keys. Oh, those keys.
Yeah, I find these keys as well to be specifically a little bit annoying as well.
Oh, absolutely. I know Spytron especially has some PTSD from them, as during one of the qualifiers he had, I believe he got knocked over 12 times in a row.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, if anyone's curious, there is a clip of it in the Randomizer Discord if you want to go find it. Also,
I will go find it after this.
Quick shout out to the spiky chest that we had on top of Cabana. We'll find out what that is pretty soon. Well, it wasn't anything from the main items, so we'll find out.
Nice rat.
Oh yeah, perfect timing. Oh. And the keys. The keys being the absolute worst once again.
Dang. But yeah, definitely. I think Ryu's the first player to do Cabana.
Yeah.
I don't think Spy's been here. Yeah. First chest is dead. It's wooden, so there's not gonna be anything there.
Yeah, they haven't found Cabana Deed, and Spy still has yet to get his hook shot from floor 1. So that is correct. Although the top chest was dead, so we'll see. Cabana just... Wow.
Both dead.
Just entirely dead. Still have no idea what was inside that chest, though.
Yes, this thing with like kind of watching someone play Wind Waker Randomizer is you kind of have to kind of wait for them to open up the menu to see what they had. I guess if they store it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ghost ship. I think even Ryu is kind of confused what he got there.
Yeah.
Maybe like a letter.
I'm thinking it was.
Note
to
Mum.
Note to Mom.
Yeah. I find that letters are specifically finicky. Like you check everything. It's like, oh, what have I stored? Oh, a letter.
Yeah, letters definitely have gained the reputation that Tingle statues used to have in previous seasons.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, I think Tingle statues, I think it used to be the fact that you didn't, they weren't, like, on the main display.
Yeah, they weren't. Season 3 and before Season 4, they were not on the menu screen, so if you stored one, you had no idea unless you actually went to Tingle Island to check. Which obviously would take so much time. And now we got Ryu doing the Bomb Island check that Spy did earlier, whereas Spy is hopping into Godin.
They're coming up to an hour. I think both runners are basically at the same point, I think. I think after Ryu's done with Bomb Island, they'll probably be quite neck and neck, I think. Depending on how slow Godin is.
What I'm thinking is gonna happen next is Ryu is gonna go back to Windfall. And get his command melody as well as whatever ends up being on Creeb, on Moblin's letter. I suppose he's also probably gonna get Note to Mom as well.
Yeah, because I think at this point, just for a last dungeon, Wind Temple, we're just waiting for the other player to get the item. We're waiting for like one player to get the item that the other person has. Like we're waiting for Spytron to get the hook shot, and we're waiting for Ryu to get the command melody. Once they have that item, they'll be able to complete the dungeon and hopefully find stuff there.
That is very true. That Advocate saying Ryu should probably go to Great Fish first to trade in that town flower, and then he can get Islet, Needle Rock, all those together.
Yeah, it's like the small efficiency, I guess.
Yeah, especially being able to check Zunari at the time. That is going to delay him getting his command melody, though. Whereas Spytron could genuinely just go to Wind Temple right now, because that is the place that has the most checks.
Yeah, he could and just hope that hookshot's there, and then it just not be there because we know where it is.
Well, I hope he goes floor 1. Okay, it looks like he's probably gonna go floor 1.
Yeah. I mean, you can do most of the dungeon without a hookshot.
That is true. It is slow because hookshot's fast, but it is technically the intended strats for it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think hookshot's it's the dungeon item. I think in Wind Temple.
Oh my God, we have a sword.
First sword over an hour in.
Yeah. Man, this is feeling like Season 4 all over again. And Spy, going back to that orphaned check from earlier.
Yeah, I think that in general, Ryu's route has definitely been kind of, I guess, on meta. I think, you know, with him definitely delaying Windfall, and I guess kind of going to dungeons faster than Spytron and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's more stuff that like you'd see the general player base doing, and meanwhile Spytron, I guess slightly characteristically doing stuff that's a little bit off meta, like rushing Windfall.
Yeah, Spytron definitely is a do it his own way type of person when it comes to racing. Ooh, Ryu just Ryu's just gonna straight up go to Windfall. He's not even gonna go Islet. No Islet, no Needle Rock. Interesting play, I will say, but hey, didn't mean to
I
make
guess
that
I mean it probably will pay off. I guess from my knowledge.
Yeah, we'll see if that pays off. We'll see if that can pay off for him. Yeah, he has one arrow, so he would be able to enter the cave, and then just get a bunch of arrows in there.
Is he gonna do the blind setup for the door cancel, or did he not do Killer Bees yet?
No, I don't believe he's done Killer Bees yet.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, he must have. No, he is gonna do it blind.
Okay, no, he hasn't done Killer Bees yet.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, even though we were saying that like Ryu did more like the on meta strats, I guess this is probably like this is an exception to that because most people will do this along with their first Windfall trip.
And yeah, an answer to Pyramid. If you do Lenzo door cancel, with the Picto Box, it does not activate the cutscene of Lenzo and Manenko being surprised by you. So it just saves time to do it rather than going in, talking to Lenzo, leaving his house, and then just going into the door normally. So yeah, so Spytron does have these checks over Ryu. That is true. Ryu has basically everything to complete Windfall except for Deluxe Pictobox, which you never discount Minenko. She could always have something. And now we're finally getting to see what Zunari has.
Nothing.
And sadly, nothing. All of that trip to Great Fish was not for nothing, but pretty dang close. And super clean Lenzo door cancel. Finally getting that command melody.
Right, yeah. So both runners can now do Wind Temple. Just interested to see which one goes to Wind Temple first.
I get the feeling that Ryu's probably going to go for Wind Temple after this.
It definitely makes sense given that Windfall is close to Wind Temple.
Exactly, yeah. It's like the place to go. Oh, having a bit of trouble getting through the giant hitbox of Manenko and Lenzo. Now this is the check that we want to see. Is Pompey and Vera something progressive, or is Pictobox pointless at the moment? Well...
I mean, technically...
Technically.
Logically. By the
Yeah.
game's definition of what is useful. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, because that was actually completely useless. There was nothing in Cabana as well.
Yeah, that's...
Actually, no, it was absolutely useless.
That's a little unfortunate for
And
you.
the runners didn't need it anyway, because it was like... Well, yeah. It wasn't, yeah.
That's a little awkward. Although, yeah, Ryu picking up his full Trevor, so that's nice. Spytron did sadly delete 3/5 of Trevor at the start of the seed. And now this is pretty much the big question. Is did Ryu make a mistake abandoning Islet and Needle Rock when he was nearby?
Yeah, and I'd say definitely quite aggressive, I'd say, but... I mean, it made sense, because I think especially, he still had that unresolved, that unresolved, Ice Ring path hint, which was Picto Box. So, like, yeah, in his mind, it was unresolved.
That is very true. That is very true.
So there's definitely method to the madness, but aggressive nonetheless.
Well, there's Ghost Ship chart.
So that just depends what's on Ghost Ship.
Yeah, it's that will confirm whether that Great Sea to Wind Temple hint was Din's Pearl or not. Or I guess... No, I guess we don't have anything else that we need for Din's Pearl, so... Or for Wind Temple, so I guess that was actually what it was.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, that's true, and he can also add Diamond Step to this routing. You know, I'm gonna call it right now. We're gonna see a sword on Diamond Step.
But yeah, no, both runners have Iron Boots, both runners have Hook Shot, both runners have basically anything for Wind Temple at this point. I think we're kind of like... We kind of theorized that Ryu is probably going to go to Wind Temple after this. It would make a lot of sense, but...
Yeah, we're probably gonna see Creeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see Creeb now, and then after that, we're pretty much assuming that he's gonna rush Wind Temple.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his tracker, I don't see there being much that he could do otherwise. But yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much, other than the checks that Spy is doing at this moment, Ryu basically pretty much has nothing else except for Wind Temple. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so at the very least, I missaw transparent chest. I thought that was a dead chest. No, that is a spiky chest. So
It is indeed spiky.
So, and then Creeb giving us a nice little feather for our for Ryu's troubles.
It's spiky as well on the Spytron's
That's
end.
another one,
So
yeah.
could be double swords.
It could be. It could also be a bottle, or it could
Bait
be
bag.
bag.
I guess one thing that we want to see here is light arrows, because light arrows make Wind Temple way more bearable.
That is true.
Just a sword.
There's a sword.
I say just a sword. It's still a required item.
I'm still calling that Diamond Step is going to have at least a spiky chest, probably the last sword. Or a bottle would be nice too. Because these runners have not gotten a bottle to save Grandma yet, and that is...
Yeah,
that is
Spytron going to
very
Diamond
much
Step.
children.
Yeah, Spytron, Diamond Step, Ryu going to Wind Temple. Yeah, so yeah, I guess Ryu at this point kind of being the more aggressive player here, and I guess like more off meta. Definitely, you know, like at the very least delaying stuff like Island of Steel, whereas Spytron going like down here to do stuff.
Yeah, that's very true. And I guess we'll see if this pays off. If Wind Temple ends up having the last sword and the last bow, then Ryu is definitely on set to just win this straight out. But if either of those checks end up being...
Spiky?
Wait for it? Oh, and the last shard, that's true. Hey, there's
It's
the bottle.
exactly what you said.
That's the bottle I was looking for. Oh, is that another spiky chest? No, it's not. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, exactly what you said.
Yeah, the one bottle. I love it. But yeah, again, if Wind Temple ends up having the 3 items, the sword, the bow, and the shard that they need,
Yeah.
then Ryu is absolutely on track to just win this straight out.
Okay, but yeah, I guess Spytron in the meantime definitely looking to go mode Wind Temple.
Definitely a good plan.
Looking how it's looking how it goes.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, actually, I was just gonna say what you were saying was like Wind Temple. I think it's one of the more better dungeons to go mode because all you really got to do is you got to really just get to like the main room and then you just get on your way there.
No, there is a small caveat to Wind Temple, which most is you need a small key.
Right. Yeah.
The door at the bottom of the hub room is locked behind a small key. That is the one thing you need. Obviously, with CTMC, you know when a key chest is a key chest, so you can just go search for that. But they do have to delay their storage strats to skip the big key until they find that small key.
Right, okay. So I guess with that, then, I guess that is, ignore what I said 5 minutes ago. I guess it seems that Wind Temple's probably one of the worst ones to go mode, because you still have to kind of look through the dungeon, I guess.
That is true, yeah.
I mean, a go mode dungeon is still a go mode dungeon, but, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Being able to just skip the entirety of Wind Temple is very nice, because full Wind Temple is a very, very slow dungeon. Obviously not as slow as like Tower of the Gods or Earth Temple when it comes to full clearing, but they definitely can take a while. Ooh,
Spiky chest on Ryu's end. Would be funny if these were light arrows. It's like just in time. The Lux Picto Box!
Oh no! Oh, that's a very poor spot for that to be in. Oh no. Ooh, Grandma having
light
the
arrows
light
on
arrows.
Grandma!
Shout out to Grandma. Oh, we stand Grandma here. We absolutely stand Grandma.
So Spytron definitely getting rewarded for delaying dungeons, and like yeah, at this point he's just probably going to go to Wind Temple finding that, which is very useful.
I actually feel like he's going to do his nighttime windfall stuff and then go for the ghost ship because it's currently at Spectacle Rock. So he can just straight go. Oh no, actually, never mind. He is going to go for ghost ship and he's going to go for see if he can reset on it. Ooh, and we see a key chest for Ryu. Is this going to be the big key, or is this a small key he needs?
Small key.
Small key. Oh yeah, Grandma always required. Absolutely. Like, you're just not a good grandchild if you don't save your grandma.
A spiky chest for the ghost ship.
It seems like Spy doing the overworld, waiting to go for his Wind Temple, has paid off extremely well.
Definitely in this seed.
And yeah, there's
the last sword. He does still need to get the other sword that Ryu's picked up, but other than that... Okay, another spiky chest on Ryu's end. This could be the last Triforce piece. And if it is, well... If it is, then, you know, Spytron is going to be very happy with his decisions.
The thing about this is that it is going to get stored, so we won't know until until Ryu actually voids out in this next room. So Grandma is not considered an outset check. Grandma is considered a mail check, so they are separate. Yeah, as long as Ryu manages to void out of here. Ooh, very clean shot from Spytron, by the way. I believe he's still on his boat, too.
That was the mirror shield from Ryu. Not required.
That's awkward, because mirror shield is completely dead this seed. They do not need it whatsoever. So that's a little awkward. And Ryu having a little bit of trouble with the Dark Nuts here. I didn't see what kind of chest it was, but I assume because he's fighting, it's gonna end up...
I think it's spiky, from what I can see.
That does look spiky, you're right. Alright, no... Oh, I was about to say no deaths here, but I might have almost jinxed it.
Yeah, I know this room's quite scary without light arrows. I mean, obviously, if like, these runners, they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, so...
Oh, it's a key chest.
Okay, so yeah, we didn't see
the vanilla big key.
Yeah, no, yeah, another small key.
Another small key. Oh, Spy having the almost worst wind direction that you could have trying to get into Lenzo's.
Yeah, Spytron just picking up the... I say picking up, I guess like...
Pompian Vera, yeah.
Yeah, Pompian Vera, yeah, that check. Kind of has to go into Lenzo's house again to get that.
Yeah, definitely, pretty much this is probably the best reason to put off Windfall, is that if you get Pictobox, it saves just such an immense amount of time over just doing it twice. Yeah, I'm a little bit torn for Spy's doing Ghost Ship before his nighttime Windfall checks. Once you finish Ghost Ship, it does turn it to daytime, so we did have to play another Song of Passing.
I think he just didn't want to risk the chance that Ghost Ship would, like... He didn't want it to turn to day naturally and for Ghost Ship to go away, I think. I think he just wanted to do it then and there.
No, that's true. I just meant specifically for him to... like, he could have done his nighttime checks, left and got Ghost Ship, and then done it, and then it would have been daytime. Then he would have just been able to skip doing, turning it to night, or turning it to day at all.
Right, well, I can definitely kind of see both schools of thought there.
Alright, so it's looking like the rest of the Windfall checks are dead, although I believe we've seen Ryu go for those.
Maybe, again, like, the classic case of the last shot is on the tall basement room. Or here.
Be, or, yeah, it could be right here. And
yep.
It's right there. Okay, that's no mode for us.
Yeah, just waiting for the runners to yeah, honestly, I'm just yeah, no, Spytron going to Wind Temple, so they're definitely gonna. Yeah, I think this is Spytron's race to lose now. I think because
it absolutely is. No,
Ryu still needs to get light arrows, and because because it's on Grandma, which is quite a lengthy check that is out of the way, he might not get it.
He still has to, unless he finds another bottle in here, he still has to go back to Diamond Step. He also has to get his last sword as well.
Right, yeah, no, definitely.
But... And his last sword on Ghost Ship, that's right, yeah. Which means he also has to get Ghost Ship chart. Oh man, Ryu is really at a disadvantage right now. This really hurts to see.
It's definitely going to take it's going to get quite a lot for him to be back in the race, I guess. It's going to take quite a big effort.
Yes, especially in the fact that he has to do all of these fights. Because Wind Temple is a very combat-centric dungeon. He has to do all of these fights without light arrows.
I mean, he has to do the fight in the first place, because Spytron's probably going to skip most of these fights.
Oh, absolutely. The second he gets that shard on Hub Room is just going to put him right into go mode. He'll have a small key at that point, which means he'll probably store something. I forget what his routing normally is for Wind Temple. So we'll see how long he puts off middle of Hub Room.
Yeah, no, definitely interesting. I think this race mostly just came down to it came down to like the things that the runners did. Like I don't think Ryu did anything wrong. I think like
No,
always just made sense. Just kind of didn't for this seed.
And Ryu definitely was in, not on pace, but definitely had a lead for quite a bit there. But that decision to skip Islet, Nidorak, and Diamond Step pretty much sealed the game for him, I'd say. Like, if they were dead, that probably would have won him the game, but the amount of checks that those are, there's a very good chance that he would have needed it. Although I am curious of what Spytron's reaction to this Deluxe Picto is going to be. Alright, looks like Spytron's going to do the same routing that Ryu did earlier. Going backwards through the room, through the Cyclone room. Which really is not a bad route to go through. It's pretty much the quickest route that you can take through... Oh? I suppose I stand corrected.
He still needs a key.
Yeah, he still needs his small key, but that is go mode for Spytron. I just wonder which check he's going to store if he's going to go for the big key skip. No, that is true. He still has to find the key to hit go mode, but for his game progression, he is done. And looks like he is going to check this, which also means he's not going to have to do any storage strats. He's just going to be able to grab this big key, and then once he finds another key, he'll just be able to go straight there. Now, do we remember where Ghost Ship Chart was?
Oh.
That's a big question. Because depending on where that was, and yeah, we have Cat Jam on Ryu's side. Probably the best music in the entire game. Let's just take some time to cat jam and enjoy the epic music. Well, I do find it interesting that Spy is skipping the big key chest, though the fact that there are 2 keys, big key chest is pretty much the slowest check in this dungeon essentially. And with this check, Spytron is going to officially hit go mode. And yes, the Grandma Male has our light arrows. Has Ryu's light arrows. That is the last bow that he is missing. And
yeah, Ryu getting all of the shards from this. Interesting if he decides to go to Hyrule before Grandma, which would be...
He definitely won't, because Hyrule was hinted dead.
Yeah, okay. Ignore everything I was saying.
No, you're fine. It seems to be that Hyrule ends up getting hinted dead in, I'd say, like 80% of seeds at this point, as it does have just that one check in the Master Chamber, and then Ganon's Tower is its own thing, but that one's also hinted 100% of the time. So. I will say, though, I am very much excited to see, at some point, to see an item on May's chest, as that is always hinted. So seeing our runners both react to that and figure out how to deal with it, would be a very interesting race to see. All right, and we got Ryu checking on Manenko. We know this is not any of the main items, and sadly, it's not a bottle either. Pretty much, Ryu is just, with our hindsight knowing where the items are, Ryu is just on the search for a bottle, whether that's the one that he'll find in Diamond Step, which is probably going to be what happens here. So we're probably going to end up going to Islet, and then yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's possible that even if something is on Grandma, I think that some bottles can still be in like non-progress locations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there is in the build for Season 5, there is a setting to allow progressive items, like non-progressive items that stack, like bottles, like quivers and bomb bags. It allows them to be in logic, or it's like the or it's like the Season 4 logic where it only puts one of the required item into the pool. Okay, so Islet was our ghost ship chart. So that is one part that Ryu has that is going to bring him to his go mode. It's really just a question of will Spy drop the ball, or is this Spy's race? And yes, we have more cat jams. Probably the best reason to have Wind Temple in logic as one of the race mode dungeons. I will say I'm a little bit concerned for Spytron at the moment. If he is in the center of the... If he's very unlucky, this could go poorly. No, he's good though. A very dumb thing that can happen is if you kill Mulgara in the very center of the arena, then you could just spawn. It could spawn you in the warp, and then you would get warped out immediately and have to go back in to get the shard.
I did not know that, and that does sound very dumb.
If you manage to get the grab from when it's flying, it won't happen. But because that one usually you end up on one of the edges, but there is a chance that it can just spawn very center and dies right there. And anyone who has had that happen to them, it's just the most terrifying thing to think of. That isn't a problem in vanilla because there is a cutscene. There's an extra cutscene connected to it. Or at least I don't believe that's a problem that vanilla can have. If you kill Mulgara while he's in the center, is how I understand it. Oh, I guess Ryu's just not confident in the skip here, so we're just gonna see this normally.
So yeah, as Spytron breaks the barrier around, or breaks the barrier around Hyrule, does barrier skip, but intentionally, so it's not exactly a skip.
It's barrier skip.
Yeah, exactly, barrier skip. Yeah. So as he does this and finishes up the game, I guess we'll talk about a little bit more about the bracket. So the winner of this match will face Advocate. So Spytron was the 12th seed, Ryu was the 21st seed, and Advocate is the 5th seed.
And as it's looking right now, Spytron most likely, or not most likely, but has a good chance to win this one. And if he does, that's going to be a very interesting match between him and Advocate, as it'll be a rematch, as both Spytron and Advocate were the finalists for the Challenge Cup in Season 4. So having the fated rematch between between them is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, also this is a best of one, so the winner of this will advance immediately. I think the winners bracket round 1 and round 2 are the only rounds which are best of 1. The entirety of the losers bracket and the remainder of the winners bracket is best of 3, and the grand finals is best of 5. Looking at the bracket,
I believe the first bracket and the second bracket are best of 1, and then the semis onward are the best of 3 plus.
Right. Yeah, because winner bracket round 1, then winner bracket round 2, which is, everyone who got a bye in the first round, then the winner bracket's quarters, then the semis, and the finals.
Exactly, yeah.
And, losers bracket, standard losers bracket, just like, it's like, I guess kind of like a, you move on to, I guess, like, to, you move on to kind of beat the other losers, and then, last man standing, the losers bracket essentially wins that.
If you win the entire losers bracket, then you just get a bye back into grand finals, more or less.
Yeah, essentially.
So we are gonna see Ryu has got his final sword and is on his way to save Grandma and get his last bow. And now we're gonna see how Puppet Ganon fares for Spytron. Definitely can be a very annoying boss, a very trolly boss, if it really decides to be. And yes, required grandma in both required grandma is a very fun thing. It makes me very Wide Depot happy.
But yeah, no, definitely, yeah, Puppet Ganon, this fight looks hard, and it is. Yeah, Spytron making light work of the first phase. I'd say that's arguably the hardest phase.
Yeah, I'd say probably the hardest phase. There are setups for phase 2 and phase 3, but phase 1 is just the worst. Like I've seen like 10-minute Puppet Ganons. I've had 10-minute Puppet Ganons. And they're just the worst. Also a very, very clean double crip for Spytron. That was gorgeous. And we got Ryu about to enter Hyrule as well. By having a bit of trouble, so deciding to go for those bomb strats. Is he gonna get the Trog shot though? No, almost. I will say one of the hints made me very happy, and it is unfortunate that nobody wanted Hurricane Spin, which was on the Scale the Wall in Pop Print. Also, a very good finish for Spytron. Now all he has left is the climb and the final. Grandma's golden shampoo, indeed. Spytron's model is definitely you definitely get a good view of all of Link's facial expressions during this.
Yeah, it's kind of like the model was kind of like built for this part of the game.
Exactly, and like it's nice having his own personal model, because this one is his alone. He has given it out to a couple people, but it's mostly just he's the only one who uses it.
I mean, it's still the Spytron model. Like everyone kind of knows that, even if other people are using it.
Exactly, yeah. It's like how a lot of people are known for specific models. Like I'm known for Grandma. A lot of people are known for Linka. I believe Elijah's known for Conductor Link. It's really nice having those personal models that you have.
But yeah, Spytron just finishing up Ganondorf, and yeah, assuming he doesn't die here, he should be victorious.
He should be good. This Ganondorf has been extremely rude to him, I'd say. He's kind of been getting trolled a ton. But with that is a GG for Spytron. A very good race, I'd say.
My god, the face after he's like, yeah, on Spytron's end.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think you're meant to see that facial expression unless you are, but like normally you don't, because it's normally Link's is facing Ganondorf, but not on Spytron's screen.
Yeah, that's kind of the meme for Spytrons in particular, because you're right. You normally never see that. You never see that face, and I think we're probably gonna get an interview from Spy and possibly Ryu, depending on how Ryu does in these boss fights. And it looks like we got Spytron.
We got Spytron.
We got Spytron. GG.
Thank you. The only thing that I am thinking about coming out of this race is that I need to work on PG3.
Yeah, you definitely had a bit of a little bit of a rough PG3. You're shout out to your double crypt though. That was really clean.
Yeah, it's for me. It's like the break between PG1 and 3. I recently got a new controller, so some of the buttons are in slightly different places, and still getting used to it. But PG2 is always super easy.
Ooh, very good shot, Ryu. I know you just joined in. GG.
Yo, GG's.
A good shot on that spin. That was clean.
Thank you. I was lucky. I'm not gonna lie, that was lucky.
So, what did you guys think of the seed? How did you give us some of your thoughts on it?
I'm just glad that I put off Wind Temple.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You definitely got lucky, because that was pretty much the catalyst to your win, was that Ryu, you went to Wind Temple before quite a few checks on the overworlds. And actually, I want to ask you about that in a sec. But
yeah, did you go mode the Wind Temple, Spytron?
Yeah, once I got my shard, I just kind of looked for my keys and went through.
I see. Yeah, I went into Wind Temple. That was my gamble actually, because I was thinking I made a lot of small execution mistakes in the seed. So I was thinking, if I can get the Game Boy in Wind Temple, then I might be able to win. And well, obviously, Wind Temple had nothing. So
see,
I
had
a shot.
I will say, you two were almost pretty much neck and neck the entire race. Ryu, you had a little bit of distance on Spy for a few dungeons, and then Spy had Overworld on you. But you guys were pretty much like even up until then.
I did make some mistakes in a couple dungeons. Like in Forbidden Woods, I forgot to open the second warp pot, so I had to go through the start a second time.
I was wondering about that. The pretty much the big question I have for you, Ryu, is what was your thought process of like once you got the Great Fish check and the exotic flower? What was your reasoning on just not going for Islet and Needle Rock?
So the thing is, I went really ham on the dungeons, as you saw. I think I left like half of the checks in Windfall when I went there and found the leaf, and I just went Forbidden Woods, and then I found some all the stuff for Tower of the Gods as well. So I just did all my progression, and at that point, I was thinking of full clearing the overworld, but I had made so many small mistakes, like unusual mistakes as well. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I need to go a little bit gambling some checks. And it was either I gamble something in Windfall or I gamble the whole of Southwest. And yeah, Windfall had 9 checks available, so...
I would do stuff like that against Advo back in the day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this really weird stuff that he would never do, just in the hopes that maybe I get something.
I mean, that's kind of the basis of... This is a randomizer, and there's always the chance that you could genuinely just rando your opponent, and those would end up panning out. And it just so happens that this time it didn't work out, but definitely not a bad strategy. It's very luck dependent, but it could work. And
yeah, I mean,
win you the game if it does.
I think we're saying in general, like none of from either of you, none of your mistakes were particularly bad. It's just that for this seed, it very much rewarded staying in the overworld and not rushing dungeons, I think.
Exactly, yeah. And I will say Ryu definitely had a much better windfall over Spy just because you waited to go to Windfall until you had a bit more progression in there.
I felt pretty happy when I found I think that was a Picto box in Ice, which was Way of the Hero.
Yeah, and we'd been talking about that. We were trying to figure out what the path hints had led to, and eventually we just figured out that that command melody must have been the ice ring, or that Pictobox leading to command melody must have been that ice ring hint. And pretty much the one that really throws me was the Din's Pearl on Beetle leading to your hook shot. Also, GG to Ryu, you just finished on restream.
Oh, thanks. Honestly, when I take my hints, I don't even look at what the paths are for. I just go, okay, this island is Way of the Hero, this island is Way of the Hero. That's it.
When I do path hints, I usually just look for stuff like, oh, do this island before this dungeon, and I just ignore all of the other path hints.
Yeah, pretty much. Windfall having the Forbidden Woods really didn't do much because there was so much Windfall progression on... there was so much Forbidden Woods progression on Windfall already. There was the Boomerang, there was the Leaf.
I was happy with doing Windfall early because I got like all of that stuff for Forbidden Woods, and then I went to Forbidden Woods like a little bit later than I wanted to, but it paid off because I got bombs, which is what I was hoping for.
You actually both entered Windfall pretty much within like a couple minutes of each other.
Windfall?
Forbidden Woods.
Okay.
Definitely not Windfall. Windfall was very disconnected between you two.
I have a feeling I went first.
To Windfall, you mean? I think I went to Windfall when it was nighttime.
I went to Windfall 10 seconds in.
Okay.
I think Ryu, you were like 13 minutes. You arrived, which is like pretty late.
Yeah, this is usually what I try to do because I want to do Myla on my first trip to Windfall, so I can get all the optimization while waiting for Myla.
That was you both had a very interesting Mila setup, especially Spy. That double storage, the storing the door, and then storing the cutscene for the Ferris wheel was kind of crazy.
It doesn't save much time if you're doing it during Mila. It does save a lot of time if you don't. But mostly it was just so that I had enough time to like go get taught after.
Yeah, that makes sense. We were really, or at least I was very worried you were gonna get caught by her, because at that point you have no idea where she is.
Yeah, I know if I'm fast enough, I can get to Tot before she even gets to the square, and I considered it, but then I saw her come out the gate, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll wait.
I am curious what your guys' initial thoughts were on your Baron and your location hints. Like that outset, that cliff plateau, the angular cave especially.
I wasn't entirely sure on where to go at first, because usually just every seed, I do Windfall, then Outset, and then Cliff Plat. Just that's how I start my seeds. And then all of a sudden, 2/3 of that was just gone. So luckily I got everything to do Popper and though. So I went that way.
Usually I do the reverse. I do Cliff into BPR, then Outset, then Windfall. So that was even worse for me when I see Cliff and Outset Baron. I'm like, what do I do?
And you guys did start with that grappling hook. So
yeah, we started with grapple. So I just went to BPR like I do every seed, and then I started thinking about the routing. And then, yeah, Angular Cave was actually a nice hint to be dead, because Angular is also Way of the Hero, so I just did, okay, I go to BPR, then Angular, and then RC.
Yeah, having those early bombs definitely made the seed something else, I will say. We were very intrigued by that early bombs.
I just liked having like a full paw print, like having all three of those bottom chests just be spiky. Felt good. It was like a buffet.
I mean,
yeah, that was kind of crazy. What was there again?
Was also something, but you guys didn't end up getting it.
It would have wasted time. It wastes time to use it too. I don't know what you're talking about. Wallet, Maggie's letter, a Tingle statue.
All right.
Yeah.
KitKat, you got anything else you want to ask?
No, I don't think I have anything specific that I want to ask. I've just said like basically all my thoughts here. You know, again, both of you routed pretty well. It just kind of, Ryu didn't quite end up panning out for you. Spytron, definitely the seed was definitely in your favor at the time. I think that definitely on like execution side, I think that you both say you made a few mistakes. I think most noticeable that we saw in Restream was both of you kind of stumbled a little bit around Forest Haven, where I think you both messed up some leaf, some leaf thing.
Through getting to Small Island / getting to, getting to.
Oh, that was so awful.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was looking at the camera and thinking, I might not make it. I might need to leaf up, and then I just don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, like you basically made it, but then you just kind of bumped into it rather than like landing on top of it. So it's like no. And then I think Spytron, you had an issue with getting up to like the main island, then going to the small island. I think.
Yeah, I still had hope of getting up there by like just voiding, but then I missed a leaf pump and I went way down. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I know it's especially painful because when you miss it, it's just kind of like Well, I had got to wait for the tornado again, so it's like you can't just restart it.
Yeah, and something that I noticed that just like in my mind, I kind of panicked during my go mode in Wind Temple. I've only done like 9, maybe 10 S5 seeds, so I've never actually had a go mode dungeon yet. And hitting go mode and being able to be like, okay, I just need my keys and then beat the game. But then seeing more spiky chests, like I didn't know what to do. It was like, I'm pretty sure I don't need it, but I don't trust myself, so like I picked up the mirror shield.
Right, yeah.
That is true, yeah. I guess that's the big thing about CTMC is they are spiky chests. They're not always required. Like, especially this seed, mirror shield was completely pointless.
Yeah.
I guess also another classic one is getting Tingle Island foolish, and then a spiky chest with Tingle in it.
I haven't had to do ankle in so long, just because there's always a Tingle statue on one of the barren islands.
I am surprised that we didn't find all of the Tingle statues today.
Yeah,
I believe we only found 3 in total.
Yeah, some of them would have been on barren islands. Like there could have been one on Cliff Plat.
Probably on Outset.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, good race. And yeah, I got nothing else to say.
I'm pretty much good too.
Alrighty, then I guess I'm gonna take over. Spytron, Ryu, I hope you had a great race. We definitely had watching you. And we also had that thanks to our 2 comms, to Sim and to KitKat. And honestly, without Blank doing the tracking, we couldn't have followed the action. So big shoutouts to them. That's all I can say for now. What we're actually gonna do now is gonna raid over to another The Wind Waker Randomizer match from the top 24 going on right now, which is Crystal Palace versus Randomite. And that's where we're gonna head now. Thank you all for watching, take it easy, and see you soon.